Hi! Okay, everyone at home, you ask me a bunch of questions and I will answer them. Let's do it. Hey Arnold, when you go to Disneyland, do you have to wait in line like the rest of us? No, I don't. Sorry. I rent out the entire park for my family and then we walk around and we just do whatever the hell we want. There is no waiting. But I do have some advice. When you're stuck in line, the first thing you gotta do is find the most attractive lady who's in line with you. Don't look at all of these fat people, just stay focused on this sexy babe. But don't stare. You look at her for a second and then you look down at your shoes. And maybe later, when she's facing the other way, that's when you can stare at her ass for as long as you want. So eventually, you're no longer thinking about the weight. You're just thinking about the ass. The only problem is that, she's going to go away when she gets on the ride. So you have to say goodbye. You must say goodbye to the ass. Not out loud, right? But inside of your mind. You think to yourself, goodbye, ass. I didn't really get to know you. And we probably never meet again. But you shouldn't go to Disney anyway. You should go to Six Flags. Because Disney has the little kid shit, right? Oh, it's a small world. It's just trash. What was the question? Oh, do I have to wait in line? No. Next question. What's the craziest thing you've ever said to someone? Well, I remember when I first met President Reagan. Maria and I had just gotten married. She looked fantastic. And the president said, "Hey, Arnold, you're a very lucky man." And Nancy Reagan was with him. So I leaned over to her and I said, "Hey, Nancy, I think your husband wants to bang my wife." And then Ronald got all upset and he said, "Oh, Arnold, you're crazy." And I said, "No, I'm not. I just translate what you said because I understand English now." So you have to be careful what you say. Like if you have maybe a friend and his daughter has just turned 18, some people might say, "Wow, your daughter has really blossomed." But that's a mistake, because it sounds like you're saying, "Wow, your daughter has tits now." And that's not a good thing to say. Never talk about blossoming. Question: what is your favorite place to visit? Have you ever seen the pyramids? My wife and I are thinking of going. Don't do it. You don't need to see the pyramids. People say, "Oh, they're so great." They're just mounds of rock. There's some idiots that think it's so incredible that it must be created by aliens. Yeah, right. Because there's no way that humans could have pushed some stones together into a big pile, right? You can take a little baby, you can put him into a sandbox, and he will push the sand together, and he will make you a pile that looks very much the same. So you should go to the Eiffel Tower, because the architecture is more advanced. Next question. Arnold, I know you have a lot of money, so I'm curious, how much do you tip? Hey, this is not polite to ask, so I'm not going to tell you. But I will say that this whole tipping business is starting to get out of hand. There are now these restaurants and they want you to tip right away, even though they've given you no food and there will be no table service. There's usually a little tablet, it has like 3 options for the tip, but they're all bad options. And most people just want to do 20%. But you can't, unless you look down at the bottom and you find this very small little button for the custom tip. And the people behind you, they're waiting. So they just try to pressure you to push one of the big buttons. And hey, I'm not going to be the asshole that presses 10. So I end up giving them the 25% tip, even though their service is shit. I think that even these ATM machines will start to ask you for tips. You take out $300 and it'll say, "Hey, you want to give me back 60? And then they want you to feed the money back into the machine. Do you think bodybuilding should be in the Olympics? Yes, absolutely. And then this other guy writes, why don't they have the Olympics every year? Well, let me ask you something. Do you want to see rowing every year? I think they wait 4 years because that's the amount of time it takes before anyone wants to see the weird sports again. I mean, hey, diving is fine, but after you've seen it, You need time to recover. You've got to remember that many of these sports don't really exist outside of the Olympics because there's just not much interest. The Olympics is like a bucket for all of the remainder sports that nobody wants to watch. What's happening with our politicians today? For example, why is Joe Biden always squinting his eyes? Oh yeah, it's like he's searching for something on the horizon. Wait, I think I know what it is. See, he's starting to cross over to the other side. He's looking to the fabric of reality, into the afterlife. He sees his family and all of his dogs from the past, and they're all waving to him. And they say, Joe, it's okay. Come to us. Your work here is done. He's just looking, It's like the movie Gladiator, when Russell Crowe is dying at the end, and he gets a very far away look in his eye, and then he tries to reach out for his loved ones, That's what Joe Biden is doing. He's straddling the boundary between two worlds, and he does that in every press conference. Now, before we go, I want to thank our sponsor, a SAD Affleck simulator. And this is a great game for PC and Mac. It's the 2024 edition. There's some new options for the SAD Affleck. You can make him drink, you can make him smoke, or you can sit down on the curb. And if you don't want to micromanage, you just set it to Auto Affleck. Some people are saying that, this new edition's not much different than last year. But I got to tell you, I think it's worth the upgrade. Alright everybody, that's enough for today, so you keep sending me your questions for next time, okay? Bye!